Hello and welcome to Square Win Games. My name is Exonovan and this is my Call of Duty World War II Veteran Difficulty Personal Play. A lot of you guys who have been around the channel for a while, you understand what a personal play is, but I'm going to clarify what the personal plays are going to become as we go forward into 2018. In the past, my personal plays have just been Let's Plays where I, go through the game blind. We experience the game together. I'll do like a little mini review at the end. Oftentimes, I'll take challenges from you guys along the way that I'll try to perform while I'm running the game blind. It's always live commentary, and that's kind of been the core of the series. Going forward, though, we're going to still be doing the challenges, still going to be playing the games for you guys, but these are going to be practice runs. They're not going to be blind runs anymore. I've created a separate playlist on the channel called The Navigator, which is currently running right now, but has not officially launched. It's just I'm just kind of testing the series out now to see where it stands and what kind of changes that I need to make. It'll of course officially launch, like I said, in 2018, but that's going to be where I play games blind, live commentary, that sort of thing, right? That's where you can get that experience if that's what you're looking for. Personal plays, they're now going to become practiced playthroughs. They're going to double as a walkthrough and a challenge for myself. Now that challenge eventually will come from you guys. Obviously with this series right here, with the Call of Duty series, because I'm launching, kind of rebooting this personal play right now with this game, I just chose the challenge for myself, which is a no player damage challenge, which I'll talk about here in a second. But in the future, you guys will still be able to vote on what kind of challenges you guys would like to see me perform in a game, but I'm going to practice those. There's two reasons why this is very important. Well, there's actually three reasons. Number one, it makes it a lot easier for you guys to watch. There's less fat, for a better term of the word, when it comes to the actual viewing experience for you guys. There's no bloat in the footage. It's to the point, direct. I don't have to sit there and editing and trim out a lot of stuff either. That's the second major key to this whole thing. My time is going to become fairly limited when we hit 2018 because I have to focus back on my freelance business. So I'm not going to have all the time that I've had the last couple of months to devote to making videos for you guys. So it's very important that I become as efficient as possible. And part of that is not sitting here in my computer for hours on end trying to trim away content so I can create a video, right? And I've never really done that before with old personal plays, so don't get me wrong, I've never really trimmed out, well, I guess I've trimmed out deaths and stuff like that, but you get my point. If a mission is supposed to take me 20 minutes to complete, I want to film it for 20 minutes. Does that make sense? I just want to be able to play it and get it done. The third reason is because I just want to have that playlist on the channel that I can set videos in where I can just be kind of free to play the game the way that I want to play it. Does that make sense? Like if I want to go through a game very strategically, then I can do that. If I want to go through very aggressive, I can do that. But I don't have to be thinking about a strategy guide in the back of my mind. I mean, every video that I've ever posted on this channel for the most part has been strategy guides, how you can do this better, how to get through this level. And yes, while you can use these personal plays to get through your games, because obviously if I'm gonna go through this game right here without taking any player damage, you will of course be able to use those strategies to your advantage to get through the game, because you'll be able to use first aid kits, right? But I'm not thinking about that when I'm making the guide. I'm just thinking about how I'm trying to experience that game. And so the title, personal plays, it's kind of gonna be a fitting title for how I'm trying to experience these games. Like it's gonna make sense now. Like I said, personal plays just came about because I wanted to have a different name than a Let's Play. You know what I mean? But these personal plays are really gonna be personal to me and how I decided to run these games. And I think that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a little bit more interesting, dynamic here on the channel when it comes to the playlist. And I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. For the most part, they're going to have commentary. There will be times where I may not add commentary. I may not even put full commentary on each one of these videos because I think there's going to be some moments that it's better for the game to shine and the gameplay to speak for itself than for me to be talking over it. Does that make sense? Like I said, it doesn't mean that I'm going to exclude commentary completely, but I am going to be thoughtful about when I add commentary. Like for instance, a game that I really want to run for a personal play like this is Wolfenstein. I really think that would be kind of fun to do. But for a game like that, it's like, I don't really know if I need to put too much commentary if I run a game like that, because it's got the high energy, it's got the music, it's got the crazy guns and the explosions. And, you know, if I can put up a fairly good gameplay to kind of match that energy, well, I may not need to put any commentary over that video, right? So I'm going to be very thoughtful about when I add commentary onto this series, but for the most part, it probably will end up having commentary. Don't get me wrong, I do like to put commentary on all of my stuff, because for new viewers, it allows them a chance to, you know, get to know me a little bit. But I'm not going to saturate it to the point where I feel like it pulls away from the gameplay. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right now is Call of Duty World War II, and it's a very tactful playthrough, because I'm trying not to take any player damage. So I'm going to be putting commentary on these videos because the gameplay can be a little bit on the slow side, if you will, because like I said, I just can't take any damage. But if I were playing this game really aggressively, I probably wouldn't do too much commentary. Does that make sense? So just keep that in mind as we go forward. I'm going to be very thoughtful about when I add stuff like that into the mix. I just wanted to kind of clarify that in this very first episode so you guys would know kind of where this series is heading going forward. Let's talk about no player damage. This is the personal challenge that I've placed on myself to get through this game. When I first picked this game up, I said, you know what, I'm just going to go through and make a guide, teach people how to get the Distinguished Service Trophy, you know, unlock all the campaign trophies, stuff like that, and that's going to pretty much be it. But then I said to myself, I wonder if I can go through this game without taking any player damage. I wonder if that's possible. There was a couple of sequences when I was playing through the first time practicing where I was like, I don't know if that's even possible to get through some of these sections without taking damage. And believe it or not, one of those sections was the very first portion of this video that you're seeing right now on the beach. I was like, it's probably impossible to get from the coastline all the way to the seawall without taking any damage at all. And I remember practicing for like maybe 20 minutes, and I said, oh, it's possible. And that gave me a little bit of confidence when it comes to this game. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. There was another sequence, the tank sequence, if you know what I'm talking about, where you have to go and plant those 2 charges on the back of the tank. There's a lot of enemies coming out. The tank can cause splash damage to your character. And I was like, whew, I don't know if that's going to be possible. But I just started playing, got there, and I was able to accomplish that. And you'll see this in this run. And I said, that's it. You know, I'm going to do a no player damage personal play for this. Notice also is that it's a checkpoint challenge, which means that once I clear a checkpoint, I'm good. As long as I don't take damage within that checkpoint, I'm allowed to continue from that checkpoint and continue with the mission or the level. I thought about doing clean runs at this, but the only problem with that is that the cutscenes, they can be a little bit lengthy and you can't skip them, or you can't skip some of them. And I was like, I really don't want to have to sit through a bunch of these cutscenes, you know, if I die like at the end of a mission. I just don't think that's going to be worth my time. Plus, I was renting this game, and I didn't want it to end up being something that I should have bought because it took me so many days to get through it. So it's a checkpoint challenge, and that's how this game is going to, you know, play out. So what you're going to see on screen is it's going to look very seamless, guys. I've edited it in such a way to where it seems like I never die. I died a bunch doing this, by the way, but it's going to seem like it's a clean run because of the way that I have spliced everything together. Just know that looks can be deceiving, right? There's a lot of these combat sequences where I died 40, 50 times trying to figure out a way to get through it without taking damage. It wasn't all that difficult trying to get through it if I could get shot just on the veteran difficulty, because your teammates do a lot of the work for you. You guys know we've talked about that in the past with games like this, but not getting hit once, that was tough. And I died a bunch, restarted checkpoints a lot, stuff like that. So you might see the edits in this, but they're going to be so minute that if you're not really paying attention, you won't even notice them at all. And I just didn't want to mislead anybody out there to think that, you know, I didn't want to advertise it. This is a clean run, and I went through the entire game and never took a death, because that's just not, it's just not true, man. I took a bunch of deaths playing through this. So just know that going forward. You're also going to see some very small crossfades within the edit at times. That's not me cutting out enemies or anything like that. It's just basically me cutting out, you know, if I'm going to get a supply crate or find a different weapon or, you know, stuff like that, get some ammo. I'm just cutting out that kind of stuff. I'm just going through the encounters straight through so you guys can see how to get through each one of these engagements with ease. And I will be talking a lot about strategy during this series, walking you guys through that kind of stuff. There's going to be some moments where there's not really much to talk about, and if I decide to do commentary, I might just talk about whatever, right? This is a kind of it's more chill than the other stuff that I post on this channel, right? It's designed to be laid back. Yes, we're going to talk strategy, but we're also going to talk about whatever else is on my mind at that particular time. It's going to be very laid back and chill. You will get enough information, whether it's from my commentary or just through the gameplay, to be able to get through the games. But we're gonna have fun with it, right? I want to have that playlist on the channel where I can just relax, have fun with you guys. And yes, we're serious, but we're not so serious at the same time. And I've never really had that outlet in terms of a playlist. Sometimes we do that on The Dose, which is the show that I do, typically. Well, I guess this year it's not been, for the last couple of years, it's not been so daily, but it was originally designed to be a daily show. We typically will hang out and talk about whatever there. I'm going to kind of bring that into a series like this. So I just want to kind of clarify all that before we get into the series, because I'm sure people are going to have questions down the line. If they don't watch this series and they just maybe tune in for the next personal play that I do, they're going to be like, wait, this isn't live commentary. This is, this is different. And I wanted to make this video solid so that I can just point them back to this video, have them watch this video and know exactly what's going forward with the personal plays. And that's not to say that I wouldn't do live commentary on future personal plays, but it just depends on what I'm trying to accomplish and what the game is kind of dictating. Does it need post commentary? Does it need live commentary? Maybe it doesn't need any commentary at all. And that's how I'm going to judge this series going forward. But let's talk about strategy. Enough of all that intro, son. It was the longest intro ever, but I had a lot I needed to get out. Let's talk about strategy. So what you just saw me do right there is head back to the supply crate. Something you may not know about this is that you can actually hit up that supply crate. I want to say as many times as you want to. I think in this gameplay I hit it up 3 times. I don't think I've ever hit it up more than 3 times. So it's guaranteed to be there for you at least 3 times, but I'm fairly confident that you can just keep hitting that up. So if you really want to clear this area, you can just keep getting grenades and smoke grenades and do your thing that way. I just showed you 2 first aid kits as well, because I know that not all of you are going to try to do this no player damage challenge. There's really no need for you to do it because you're just getting your trophy, unless you just want to give it a shot. If you do, by the way, and you have a YouTube channel and you post it, let me know. I love to watch it and see how you get through it. But if you're just going for your trophy, guys, make sure you're picking up all your first aid kits. I'll be pointing those out while we continue with this run, so you'll know exactly where they are if you need those. Now, when you get right here, yes, you can pick up the flamethrower. It is great for clearing out these little bunker areas, but I didn't use it because I was always afraid that, and I don't even know if this is true in this game because I've honestly never picked up a flamethrower. But my thought is that I could, like if I was shooting somebody and accidentally shot a wall or something like that by accident, or like a crate or something, that maybe I would take damage from my own flames. So I tended to just kind of shy away from those weapons in the game. Even things like the heavy guns you can get on, for certain sequences where you're supposed to get on the heavy guns and just shoot people as they're coming through the forest. I don't get on those either because you're just like a sitting duck on those things. So when it comes to those kind of specialty weapons, I tended to shy away from those. But in your run, I would strongly urge you to pick them up. They can make some quick work of some of the enemies. By the way, back there on that supply crate, to the left of it was 2 first aid kits. And to the left of me right now, across the way, there's a signboard on the wall. You can probably see it on the left. In front of that is some crates. I want to say there's a first aid kit over there as well. So just make sure you're checking this area if you need the help. And I would just sit right back here, guys. There's no need to push forward. You have all your teammates up there, and we've talked about this in other first-person shooters, especially when you have teammates. Man, a lot of the times they just do the work. You know what I mean? You can push up, and that's how this game operates. If you decided to play really aggressive, maybe pop some smoke, run toward the enemy, go prone somewhere behind a crate or something where you can't get shot, your teammates will push up with you and be super aggressive and clear entire areas for you. There's always going to be, those 1 or 2 enemies that you have to kill because That's how games like this work. They want you to inflict damage so you can kind of progress through to the next area. But your AI teammates will do most of the work when it comes to clearing your enemies. And that's part of the reason why I decided to do a challenge like this, because I knew I could make that guide. It'll be super easy for people to follow, super easy for me to do, right? But it wouldn't be as much of a challenge as trying to do this thing with no player damage, because that is extremely tough. So that's why I kind of added that challenge on. And I don't know if I've said this already, but player damage, guys, I have my health bar on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. When it comes to Jeeps, mobile AAs, and stuff like that, you do have a separate health bar for that. So when I say no player damage, I just mean my human player is not going to take any damage. But if I'm in a vehicle or an AA gun or something like that, or using one of those AA guns, I can take all the damage that I want. That will not disqualify me from the challenge.
Coming at us! They're exiting cover! Smoke grenade out!
It's probably possible to do it. There's only one sequence where I'm like, I don't know if it's possible, because it's the Jeep sequence and there's a lot of enemies firing at you, and I just feel like you're gonna take damage there. But I didn't have the time to really go through and practice it, right? I had this game for 3 days. I wanted to rent it and not keep it for more than 3 days, and I just didn't have the time to work out that. But it might be possible. I hate to use the word impossible when it comes to a video game. There's a first aid kit, by the way. Also, make sure that you're throwing a grenade at the sandbags to my right and left. Well, actually, both to my right now. Usually there's a guy behind him. So, and at least when I played, he never really peeked his head out. I could just hear him. So I would just toss a grenade there just to be safe. This is just a typical quick time event. We're about to have our, I guess, our party with Zussman. We got to get him out of here. This is tricky. I remember when I was doing this, I was like, okay, because I didn't know there was as many checkpoints in this sequence as there was. I thought it might reset me to this room each time, and if it did that, that would have been extremely difficult. But there's actually, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 checkpoints within this Zussman part of the game, if you will. And so it made it a little bit easier for me, but I did fail a couple of times doing this sequence too. The main thing is just knowing where the enemies pop out at, because you only got a pistol. You can't move. Like, obviously you can move now when you're dragging Zussman, but once you get him in a safe spot and the enemies come out, you can't move anymore. You can only move your gun, and that's it. So you have to be able to get your shots off really quick. I tend to try to put 2 shots down range on each enemy. I just want to make sure that they're dead, because like I said, I didn't want to take any unnecessary damage. You can use your health through here though. Your first aid kits, if you need to, you can use them. So feel free to do that in your game. But obviously I couldn't do that. That would have disqualified me from my challenge. So I had to just kind of memorize where these enemies were going to be popping out at. And like I said, make sure that I popped 2 shots down range just to make sure that they died. I know you can kill them in 1 hit, but I never really tested whether it mattered where you shot them at. Like, I don't know if it has to be like a chest shot and above to get credit for killing them in 1 hit. I just didn't test it, didn't have enough time. So I was like, I'm just gonna pop 2 shots in them, and you know, I know that's gonna kill them, and then I can go ahead and move on. I think there's one more sequence here with guys before we get to the grenade toss. It's been about a week too, by the way, guys. Actually a little bit, might even be about 2 weeks now. Maybe about a week and a half, probably, to be honest with you, since I've played this. So I'm trying to remember it as I'm watching it back. But I want to say that the grenade section is next. And when you get to that section, guys, all you got to do is keep pumping R1. I believe that's the button you have to hit. I hit it so quick, I don't even know if we'll see the prompt. I'm hitting it right now, actually, just so you know when I was running the game. Yeah, there it goes. Just make sure you toss that back so it doesn't blow you up. There's going to be some more guys that peek up. Actually, you have to peek over this edge to get them. I think it's only 2 guys, though. See right there, I shot that dude on the right with 1 shot and killed him, so that's confirmed. But I don't know. I did shoot him in the chest, I believe, so you may have to shoot him in the upper body to get credit for 1 hit. But just to be safe, I would just put 2 shots down range. Typically, I don't think there's any combat sequence where you're dragging Zussman where there's more than 3 enemies. So just fire 2 shots into each and you'll be good with ammo. Because I started to wonder if you would have enough ammo, but yeah, there's only 3 enemies per no more than 3 enemies per engagement. When you get here, go ahead and pop 2 smokes just to make sure that these guys can't see you when you cut across. This is where you want to be at. Reason why is because your teammates are to the left of you, and remember, they're going to be firing at your teammates, and then you can just kind of come over here and pick them off from their flank. You can see they're just running up to me. They look rather stupid because they don't expect me to be here right now, and a lot of times that's how you can completely destroy AI in a video game, is to just be wherever they don't expect you to be, and then you dominate. In most cases, not in every case, but in most cases. As soon as it says defend the position, get right here, just wait. There's going to be the gunner that used to be upstairs is going to try to come down and kill you. Make sure you take him out. There's actually 2 guys upstairs, but if you go back and watch the footage, I actually killed the other one before I made my push. That's very important because you don't want the second guy to be upstairs as well, because he'll start coming down and it gets pretty crazy in this little area where we are right now if you've got 2 people to worry about. So I just tend to go ahead and kill one of them while he's upstairs and then kill the heavy gunner when he starts coming downstairs. And then you just hold your position right here, guys. There is zero need to press forward or do anything. Once you've killed enough of these enemies, there's going to be another little small engagement to the right over here. You can't really see it now because I'm inside of this little barn, but there's going to be some more enemies that come out. You'll see me rotate here in a second, I believe, and get behind a barrel when I know that, yeah, right here. That's when you know the second wave is hit. You just got to clear these dudes out and then plant the charge on the AA and you're good to go. And that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think about this series. Like I said, it's not officially going to launch until 2018. That's when I'm officially going to be rebooting everything on the channel, or at least the majority of my playlist, and setting things up for the new year. So let me know what you think about this. And also, how would you guys like to vote on the next challenge that I do for the next game that I play? And do you guys want to pick the next game that I play? That's another thing too. Do you guys want to do Google Forms like we do typically with the dose? Or do you guys want me to set up some other voting system? I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. I think Google Forms will probably be the easiest, but I'm open to suggestions. You guys can let me know that in the comments below. There's a first aid kit, by the way. There's another first aid kit. Give me some feedback, guys, in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode. You guys be good.